actually.
And who's paying you for this?
Oh, let me see. We're working for the county clerk's office.
You heard her right. The young woman claims she's working for the county clerk's office, but admits to supporting Mitt Romney. Turns out she was working for a private firm with a history of voter fraud. That firm has been fired this week by the RNC here in Colorado and the 6 other states where it was working to register voters.
This as officials in Florida uncovered widespread fraud after workers were found to be discarding Democrats. Political reporter Eli Stokols with the details in our election 2012 coverage.
We've been hearing more and more stories today about possible voter registration fraud in Colorado and in a few other swing states. Fraud by people employed by a firm that was hired by the Colorado State Republican Party and the state GOP in other states to register voters, a firm that's now been fired across the board because of the fraud allegations. In fact, just this afternoon, Colorado Secretary of State Scott Gessler telling us that one employee of this company admitted to registering someone and then throwing the form out because they signed up as a Democrat.
Hey girls, are you all registered to vote right now?
How important is registering voters? Colorado's Republican Party spent close to $500,000, half its total budget, paying a firm to register voters. A firm that was fired this week by the GOP here and in the 6 other states where it had been hired. Why? Because they appear to have been focused mostly on registering Republicans.
I'm actually trying to register people for a particular party because we're out here in support of Romney, actually.
This video of a girl admitting the strategy outside a grocery store in Colorado Springs has already been seen on YouTube more than 400,000 times. And Fox 31 Denver confirms she was working for the firm in question.
The Republican Party in Colorado should never have approved hiring this firm.
Nathan Sproul, who runs Lincoln's strategy group, has a long history of voter fraud. But Mitt Romney's campaign and the RNC both hired him this year after asking him to rename his company Strategic Allied Consulting.
People did know, or at least had a solid inkling as to what kind of an operator he was, and chose to continue to enlist him.
Despite the name change, the same tactics have Sproul's new company under investigation for voter registration fraud in 10 Florida counties. That's what prompted its firings by the GOP in Colorado and the other states this week.
This doesn't sound like it's an isolated incident. It sounds to me like there's a concerted effort by the Colorado Republican Party and perhaps in conjunction with the National Republican Party to go out and selectively register people, which is not the way that it's supposed to happen.
The Colorado Republican Party turned down an interview request today, but issued a statement saying they take any threat to the voting process very seriously. And they note, we are not aware of any voter registration irregularities from our efforts to register voters. Colorado Secretary of State Scott Gessler says there are a lot of checks and balances in the system to detect fraudulent registration forms if they're turned in. If you're not sure if your form was turned in or if the information is right, you probably want to go online and check with the Secretary of State or to call your county clerk and make sure that everything's good to go before the voter registration passes. And there's a link to that website on ours, kwgn.com. I'm Eli Stokols, Channel 2 News.